Part 273. I secretly got married to a super boss. Author, Dance Lightly. Chapter 2721. Chapter 2721. Do you understand what I mean? Of course not. Mo. Yes, he curled his lips and smiled. You have gone to the company to work with me before. Don't we cooperate well? Besides, with you here, I think I can get twice the result with half the effort. Chiao Mian smiled and hooked her arms around his neck. She pulled the man's tie with one hand and asked him to lower his head. Then she raised her head and kissed his thin lips. Okay, then I'll follow you. Let's go to work together and be your secretary. But I will work for you. Will there be any salary? The man lowered his head in cooperation and said dotingly, Baby, isn't all my money yours long ago? You can pay it yourself as much as you want. I can pay as much as I want. Aren't you afraid that I'll pay a sky-high salary? Well, open as you like. Mo. Yes, he felt the sweetness between the girl's lips and teeth, squinted his eyes and gently touched her soft lips. His voice became low and hoarse. Baby, I am all yours. Even if you want my life, I can give it to you, not to mention these external things. As the hot breath approached, Chiao Mian opened her mouth to say something, and then a hot kiss fell. Soon, she could not utter a word. Asterisk. In order to reassure Chiao Mian, Mo. Yesi accompanied her to the hospital early the next morning. Lu Rao had received Mo. Yesi's WeChat message a long time ago and knew what inspections they were going to do. Didn't you have a checkup before? There is nothing wrong with your health. After Lu Rao saw Mo. Yesi, he found an excuse to pull Mo. Yesi aside to talk alone for a while. Well, so this time the examination is not for me, but for me. And Mo. Yesi lowered his voice and said with a serious expression, you need to do this examination for her personally. If there is no problem, it is naturally the best. If. He pursed his lips and remained silent for a few seconds before speaking again. If there is really any problem after the examination, she must not let her know. Do you understand what I mean? After hearing what he said, Lu Rao was silent for a few seconds. Listen to what you said. Weren't you the one who asked her to come to the hospital for examination? Of course not. Mo. Yesi narrowed his eyes. She insisted on coming to the hospital for a checkup. She suspected that there was something wrong with her body, which was why she couldn't conceive the child. Lu Rao, even if Mian can't conceive the child, I won't mind. At worst, she and I will adopt one. Or, it's okay not to have children for the rest of your life. Anyway, my eldest brother is enough to pass on the heirs. I don't want her to be stressed about this matter, and I don't want her to feel that she owes me anything because of this matter. After Lu Rao heard this, he was silent for a moment. How much Mo. Yesi cares about Chiao Mian, they, as brothers, naturally see it. So it's not surprising to hear these words from Mo. Yesi. Furthermore, based on Lu Rao's understanding of Mo. Yesi, he is actually not a person who likes children very much. The reason why he is anxious to have a child now is just because the person who conceived the baby for him is Chiao Mian. What he wants is his and Chiao Mian's child. In other words, if the person who gave birth to his child was not Chiao Mian, or if he gave birth to 10 or 100 children, he would not give him a second glance. But even if you don't let her know, she will still be suspicious of her failure to conceive a child. So, if it is found that she has a physical problem, I want you to issue a test report that she cannot be pregnant due to my reasons. End of this chapter. I secretly got married to a super boss. Author, Dance Lightly. Chapter 2722. Chapter 2722. There is no problem at all. Lu Rao. Mo. Yesi has really fallen into trouble with Chiao Mian in his life. Have you really thought about it? Lu Rao asked again, knowing exactly what Mo. Yesi's answer would be. Do you really want to take all the problems on yourself? But I think you are too much. Think about it, the health of couples is normal, and there are many cases where it takes several years to conceive a child. Moyesi nodded, well, if there is a problem, just do as I say. I also believe that there is no problem with her, but if she doesn't check it out, she always likes to think wildly. Checking it can make her feel more at ease. Okay, let's check it out. Asterisk. After Lu Rao and Moyesi returned to the office, Chiao Mian pulled Moyesi's sleeve and asked in a low voice, what were you talking about just now? Is there something wrong with the inspection? Don't think about it. We haven't checked it yet. What could be the problem? Moyesi touched her head and said gently, it's because the Lu family encountered some problems in some industries they were running, so I talked to him more. A few words. Yes, we encountered something in our business, and we just asked ACI for advice. After all, he is an expert in this area. Lu Rao calmly cooperated with Moyesi and lied, sister-in-law, don't think too much. SI told me about your matter, saying that my sister-in-law suspected that she had a physical problem and wanted to get checked out. In my opinion, since there is a need for an examination, you and your husband should both examine it together. After all, this kind of thing may be your problem, or it may be ACI's problem. Of course, it is also possible that both of you and your husband have no problem. Question. Chiao Mian was a little embarrassed. Dr. Lu, please give us a checkup. No trouble, no trouble. Also, sister-in-law, please don't call me Dear Lu anymore. This title is too unfamiliar. Lu Rao waved his hand and said with a smile, you should just call me by my name. Chiao Mian hesitated for a moment and nodded, okay, then I'll call you by your name from now on. Then Lu Rao, I'll trouble you later. Lu Rao waved his hand again, it's a trivial matter. If sister-in-law is ready, I will take you for an examination now. Asterisk. The examination was done quickly and the results were obtained quickly. While Chiao Mian was waiting for the report, she kept nervously clutching Moyesi's sleeves. When she saw Lu Rao walking out of the department with 2 inspection reports, she stood up suddenly and walked quickly to Lu Rao. Have the inspection results come out? Are there any problems found in the inspection? She looked at the inspection report in Lu Rao's hand and quietly clenched it with one hand. She is in a very conflicted mood now. She wants to know the test results right away. But I am a little afraid to know the result. She is afraid of the outcome that she fears most. Although Moyesi comforted her for a long time yesterday, if the outcome really turned out to be the one she feared the most, she would not be able to ignore it. Don't worry, sister-in-law, there is nothing wrong with you and ACI. Lu Rao saw her nervousness and fear, and did not go around in circles and told her the results of the examination directly, you are both in good health and there is nothing wrong with you at all. Really, Chiao Mian felt her whole body relax when she heard the result, and she couldn't help but let out a long breath. Of course it's true. This is the inspection report. You can take a look at it. Lu Rao smiled and handed the inspection report to her. End of this chapter. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. I secretly got married to a super boss. Author, Dance Lightly. Chapter 2723. Chapter 2723. His various behaviors now are really a slap in the face. Chiao Mian took it immediately. Even though Lu Rao had already told her the result, she still read it carefully and carefully. After reading hers, I read Moyesi's carefully. Then, completely relax. She took the 2 reports, turned around, and happily threw herself into Moyesi's arms. Moyesi, that's great, we have no problem. Moyesi hugged the little woman in his arms firmly. There would have been no problem in the first place. I told you, you are just too busy at home, so you are thinking wildly. Now that the test has been done and the results are good, can you rest assured? Well, don't worry, Chiao Mian said with a smile, I won't think about it again in the future. You can't rush things like pregnancy. Lu Rao on the side looked at the couple hugging each other and said with a smile, as long as there is nothing wrong with your health, you will have a baby sooner or later. I suggest you now relax and don't think about it all the time. It's better to pretend that it doesn't happen. If you keep thinking about something, it will add a lot of pressure to yourself. The pressure is too great, and things are counterproductive. Sister-in-law is still young, and you, ACI, are still very young. At your age, you are not in a hurry to have a child. ACI, especially you really don't need to be too anxious. Being a dad is not what you want. It's so easy. Now you are only looking forward to having a child, and you may come to us to complain in the future. Lu Rao knew it. The person who is anxious to have a child is not Chiao Mian, but Mo Yesi. She is still a little girl, so she definitely didn't expect to become a mother so early. But at Mo Yesi's age, he is not in a hurry to become a father. Lu Rao really couldn't understand why Mo Yesi was so eager to have a child. And he remembered that Mo Yesi said that children are the most troublesome and least lovable creatures in the world. His various behaviors now are really a slap in the face. Asterisk. Leave the hospital. Chiao Mian changed from the heavy mood when she arrived, and when she left, her face was full of relaxation and joy. Mo Yesi, on the other hand, seemed to have something on his mind. The expression on his face seemed a little heavy. Mo Yesi, what's wrong with you? Chiao Mian saw that he was in a bad mood and asked with concern, why are you in a bad mood even though the test showed that we are all fine? Isn't it, that the test results are inaccurate? Don't think about it. How could the test results be inaccurate? Mo Yesi rubbed her head, I'm just thinking, am I really too impatient? Mian, am I putting too much pressure on you during this time? That's why she has random thoughts. Before Chiao Mian could answer, he thought for a moment and continued, I thought about it carefully just now, and what Lu Rao said is not unreasonable. Since we are all fine, maybe I am really too impatient. The pressure on us is too much, which is why you have been unable to conceive a baby. If you feel bored staying at home, you should continue to work. Mo Yesi said he made a decision after careful consideration, as long as you don't need to go abroad for a long time, you can take the job in China if you want. Mo Yesi, you. Chiao Mian raised her head and looked at him in surprise. End of this chapter. I secretly got married to a super boss. Author, Dance Lightly. Chapter 2724. Chapter 2724, Give birth to a child and compete with him for his wife. Mo Yesi, you. Chiao Mian raised her head and looked at him in surprise. Why are you looking at me like this? The man's big hand fell on the top of her head and rubbed it gently. I just think maybe it would be better if we let nature take its course. You are still young now. If you don't want to be a mother too early, you will have to wait until later. 2 or 3 years is nothing. Mo Yesi also suddenly figured it out. He had always wanted Chiao Mian to give him a child because he didn't feel secure enough. He felt that if they had a child, their relationship would be stronger. But now, he felt that Chiao Mian's promise to him was a gesture. He wants a child that belongs to them, not because he likes children much. In fact, he did not want to enter the role of father too early. He also wanted to spend a few more years with Chiao Mian. If you have children, everything will be different. Mo Yesi suddenly remembered that Mo Shixiu had complained to him 2 days ago that Zhang Luli had been focusing on his children during this time and had neglected his husband. If he and Chiao Mian have a baby, could Chiao Mian be like Zhang Luli, focusing entirely on her children and treating his husband as dispensable? If this is the case, then he has no intention of having children now. Have a child come out to compete with you for your wife? He doesn't want to. Are you serious? Xiao Mian was extremely surprised. You mean, we don't have to rush to have a child now? I can continue my work. Yeah, Mo Yesi immediately became happy when he saw her, pinched her face, curled his lips and said, just let nature take its course for this matter, and I won't force you. Lu Rao didn't say that. Wrong, I am too impatient and it will cause stress to both of us. The more pressure you have, the easier it is for things to backfire. Besides, if a child is born who will compete with me for my wife, then let him come out later. Xiao Mian. So the real reason why he suddenly changed his mind was that he was afraid that the child would steal him from her? Even before he saw the baby's shadow, this man had already started to be jealous of the baby. Xiao Mian suddenly began to worry about something. In the future, when their baby is born, will they be disliked by Mo Yesi? She felt that this possibility was not impossible. Asterisk. Are you sure I'm going to take the job for you? Didn't you say that you would focus on preparing for pregnancy and not take the job within a year? When Linda received a call from Xiao Mian and learned that she planned to take the job, she was rarely surprised. Also very unexpected. Well, I decided to focus on preparing for pregnancy before, but Mo Yesi suddenly told me that I don't have to be so anxious to have a child, and it's okay to wait for another 2 or 3 years, so I can continue to work now. However, I still don't want to accept jobs abroad, any job at home is fine. Mr. Mo suddenly changed his mind. Why? There is no reason, maybe he suddenly figured it out. Sister Xia, if I ask you to take over the work for me now, will it be more difficult for you? What if? It's nothing difficult. In fact, I have arranged a lot of work for you before. Because you said you were going to take a long vacation, I plan to distribute all your resources to other artists. Since you have decided to come back now, you should continue to follow the instructions. Let's go with the previous trip. End of this chapter. I secretly got married to a super boss. Author, Dance Lightly. Chapter 2725. Chapter 2725. Maybe he suddenly figured it out. Xiao Mian hesitated. Can this be done? Of course. It's not so easy to distribute your resources. Not to mention other things, the advertising endorsements I'm looking for are all endorsements from first-line big names. The newcomer I brought in doesn't have enough celebrity status now, even if I wanted to allocate those resources to her, but the brand owner would not agree. I was having a headache, but I didn't expect you to solve this problem for me. Well, I think what Mr. Mo means is that he doesn't want you to go too far away from him. I have a few commercials that I'm talking about that can be shot in China. If you really decide to come back to work, I will go and sign the advertisement with the person in charge over there. Okay, then I'll trouble Sister Xia. Why are you being polite to me? See you later. Asterisk. Hang up the phone. Xiao Mian turned her head and looked out the car window. While passing a department store, she stopped the driver. Uncle Li, stop here, I'll go to the mall to buy something. Xiao Mian was going to see Zhang Luli. She wanted to go to the mall to buy some small gifts for Yu. Uncle Li slowed down and parked the car firmly on the side of the street next to the department store. Young madam, do you need me to go with you? Uncle Li stopped the car and asked respectfully. Xiao Mian took out her hat and sunglasses from her bag and put them on. She reached out and opened the car door. No, I'm just going to buy some small things. I'll be back soon. Okay, madam, if you need anything, please call me at any time. Asterisk. Today is not the weekend. However, there are still many people in this department store located in the city center. Xiao Mian has visited this department store several times before, so after entering the elevator, she directly clicked on the floor dedicated to maternal and child products. Besides her, there were several other people in the elevator. Fortunately, they were all aunts in their 50s and 60s, and these aunts were not usually starstruck. Chiao Mian was standing in front of them, very close to them, and no one recognized her. Even if one or two of them glanced at her a few more times, they just thought her outfit was a bit strange. That's all. Seeing that no one recognized her, Chiao Mian suddenly felt a lot more relaxed. She found a corner and silently huddled herself into a ball, trying to reduce her sense of presence. When she reached the floor where she pressed the button, she was the only one left in the elevator. She stepped out of the elevator and went straight to a maternal and child products store where she had purchased several items. A store clerk immediately came forward to greet her enthusiastically. "Hello, lady, what kind of items do you want to buy?" "Let me see for myself." Chiao Mian lowered her voice and said. She doesn't really like to have someone following her when she's shopping. This will make her feel very uncomfortable. "Okay, miss, please take your time to choose. If there is anything you need from me, please tell me." Fortunately, the shopping guide here is not the kind of thick-skinned. After Chiao Mian expressed her intention to refuse, she just didn't follow her anymore. Chiao Mian wandered around the store for a while, and after choosing 2 sets of clothes and some small toys, she was ready to check out. She carried the basket to the cashier. "Miss, please wait a moment, we will pay you the bill right away." After a while, the cashier finished the order and handed the bill to Chiao Mian. Chiao Mian glanced at it, and just as she was about to take her card out of her bag to pay, she heard a familiar voice behind her. "Xiao, if I ask you to go shopping with me today, will you feel bored if you go shopping in a maternity and baby store like this?" End of this chapter. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. I secretly got married to a super boss. Author, Dance Lightly. Chapter 2726. Chapter 2726. Why are you here? How could it be? I was just idle at home today and I was feeling bored when I received a call from my aunt. It's better to go out for a walk than to idle at home alone. Is that so? There was a smile in the familiar voice, and the tone of his voice was gentle that Chiao Mian had never experienced before. That's good, I'm afraid you'll be bored. Auntie, are you going to buy something for your granddaughter? Well, I want to go see her tomorrow. But didn't my aunt say that the conflict between you and your daughter-in-law has not been resolved yet? If you go over, will she be unhappy and not let your granddaughter meet you? Humph, that's the blood of my Mo family as a grandmother. I want to see what qualifications she has to stop me from seeing my granddaughter. That's true. The two voices were getting closer and closer to Chiao Mian. Chiao Mian felt footsteps coming behind her, and then stopped. Huh? What's wrong? Oh, this lady looks familiar to me. She looks a bit like my aunt's other daughter-in-law. Let me see. A few seconds passed. Chiao Mian, a confused voice sounded first. Before Chiao Mian could respond, the person who was standing behind her had already appeared in front of her in the blink of an eye. It is Mrsmo, who is dressed as a noble lady. She is my daughter-in-law after all. Even though Chiao Mian covered most of her face, Mrsmo quickly recognized her. Although after Chiao Mian was recognized by the Bai family, Mrsmo was no longer dissatisfied with her family background. Chiao Mian always protected Zhang Luli, so she let Mrsmo, who didn't like Zhang Luli, stay with her. I don't like it at all either. After recognizing Chiao Mian, Mrsmo's gentle expression immediately changed. Although he is not cold-faced, his expression is definitely not good. Chiao Mian, it's you indeed. Why are you here? Chiao Mian glanced at Mrsmo, then turned to look at Tanya, who was standing behind her, and then her eyes fell back on MRSMO. She didn't expect that MRSMO and Tanya were still interacting with each other. And the relationship between the two is obviously as good as ever. Don't she know that Tanya is dealing with Mr. Mo secretly? Looking at her like this, she probably doesn't know. Mom, I came to the maternity and baby store to buy some baby supplies. Of course Jiao Mian felt that MRSMO was asking questions knowingly. Buying baby products? Who are you buying them for? Zhang Luli's child. When MRSMO mentioned Zhang Luli, she couldn't help but frown, and the disgust in her eyes was not concealed. When Jiao Mian saw this, she couldn't help but protect her best friend, and said to MRSMO in a not-so-good tone, "That's also my eldest brother's child, your granddaughter." "Mom, why are you here to visit the maternal and child store too?" MRSMO's face stiffened due to her rebuke, and just as she was about to speak, she saw Tanya walking over, holding her hand and saying with a smile, "Auntie wanted to buy something for her granddaughter. I didn't expect such a coincidence. You'll meet Miss Jiao here. These baby products that Miss Jiao bought are also for Miss Zhang. Since we met by chance, why don't Miss Jiao help Auntie choose a gift? I heard that you and Miss Zhang are very good friends. You must know each other very well. She can also know what to give to her." Jiao Mian turned her head and glanced at Tanya, who was speaking, with a bit of alienation in her eyes, and said calmly, "Miss Tang may have misunderstood." End of this chapter. I secretly got married to a super boss. Author, Dance Lightly. Chapter 2727. Chapter 2727. She is really awesome. I know her, but the gift is for her daughter. I don't know what her daughter likes. Since I have Miss Tang accompanying me when I go shopping, I believe it would be more appropriate for Miss Tang to help with such matters. The smile on Tanya's lips suddenly faded a little. Jiao Mian didn't plan to deal with them for too long, and she didn't care whether MRSMO was happy or unhappy. She ignored MRSMO and took out a card from her bag and handed it to the cashier. "Pay the bill." When the cashier accepted the card, he couldn't help but glance at her several times. After settling the bill, Jiao Mian got her card back and was ready to leave. "Mom, I made an appointment. Since Miss Tang will accompany you, I'll leave first." After Jiao Mian had done her best to save face, she picked up the bag and turned around to leave. MRSMO is nominally her mother-in-law. But Jiao Mian had already treated MRSMO as a stranger. She is willing to do these face-saving things now because she cares about Mo Yesi and does not want to make the relationship with MRSMO too tense and put Mo Yesi in the middle. But this does not mean that she will really take MRSMO seriously. MRSMO was so angry that she turned blue when she saw that Jiao Mian didn't take her mother-in-law seriously and left immediately. Tanya on the side saw this and comforted her softly, "Auntie, don't be angry, be careful of getting angry. I think Miss Jiao may really have something wrong. She should have made an appointment with Miss Zhang to go over and see the child." At first it was okay if Tanya didn't comfort her, but once she comforted her, it made MRSMO even more angry. At this time, Jiao Mian had already walked to the door. The clerk who had just paid for her at the checkout counter and several other clerks in the store suddenly ran towards her, shouting as they ran, "Wait a minute, are you Jiao Mian? We are all yours fans, can you sign your autograph for us?" Jiao Mian paused. Several clerks had already run up to her, and they all looked at her with bright eyes. The clerk who had just checked out for her stared at her for a few seconds, and then asked cautiously, "Are you Jiao Mian, the actor in If the Jiao Mian from Can't Love?" Jiao Mian looked at several store clerks with excited faces, thought for a moment, and took off her sunglasses. The moment she took off her sunglasses, several shop assistants screamed excitedly, you are really Jiao Mian. We are all your fans and like you very much. You can you sign an autograph for us, name. Xiao Mian has always been very doting on her fans. It's not too much to sign autographs for a few fans. She smiled and nodded, okay. Really, several shop assistants started to get excited again. Well, then, can we take another photo with you, just a few of us take a photo together. Well, yes, I can also take a separate photo with each of you since you are a fan, you must love her to the end. Wow, really, that's great. Mian, you are so kind to our fans, so touching. Mian, when will your new movie be released? We must buy more movie tickets to support you. Behind. After witnessing this, Tanya looked at Mrs. Mo's face at this moment, and after hiding her anger, she said casually, Miss Jiao is a big star now, so many people like her. She is, it's amazing. End of this chapter. I secretly got married to a super boss. Author, Dance Lightly. Chapter 2728. Chapter 2728. Maybe I have a way. Mo was already very dissatisfied with Xiao Mian's entry into the entertainment industry, and Xiao Mian had just insulted her in public. When Tanya said these words, she couldn't help but feel angry. She sneered, a big star? She's just an actress. She doesn't want to let a good young lady from a wealthy family do it wrong. She insists on entering the dirty entertainment circle and making people see our Mo family's jokes. She is bringing shame to the Mo family. Yes, it's really awesome. Auntie, don't say that. Miss Jiao is different from others when she is a star. She has the Mo family and the Bai family to protect her. Even if the entertainment industry is dirty, it can't be dirty on her. Besides, even your son, I also support her, it's useless even if you don't agree, auntie. When Mo heard what Tanya said, she was so angry that her eyes and nose were crooked. She and that Zhang Luli are both foxy and charming, and they fascinated my two sons. If it weren't for them, yes, I and Ken Shisiu make such a fuss with me now. I don't know what evil I have done, but God will arrange two vixens for my son. Auntie, please calm down first. Seeing that Mrs. Mo's chest was shaking with anger, Tanya stretched out her hand and patted Mrs. Mo's back a few times, and still comforted her with a gentle voice, no matter how your two sons follow, if you make trouble, it's only temporary. After all, you are the mother who gave birth to them, and they will definitely be filial to you. Be filial to me? It's a good thing you didn't make me angry to death. Mrs. Mo became more and more angry, and the curve of her chest became wider and wider. If I had known that I would give birth to two rebellious sons, I shouldn't have done it in the first place. Give birth to them. Auntie, please don't say angry words. Tanya's eyes flashed, and she gave Mrs. Mo a hand to help her breathe, but her words only added fuel to the fire. They were just confused for a moment. Auntie, everything you did was for their own good, and they will know it later. In the future, as expected, Mrs. Mo became even more angry and sneered repeatedly, we can't count on them now, so why talk about the future? As long as those two vixens are around them for a day, they will never be sober. Unless they can disappear from Shisiu and Yesi. So what if Xiao Mian is the daughter of the Bai family? Although the Bai family and the Mo family are indeed very suitable. However, what she wants is a daughter-in-law who is worry-free and obedient. Rather than a daughter-in-law who doesn't take her seriously. She would rather find a daughter-in-law with a lower family background than the Mo family, as long as she is well-behaved and obedient. Only such a daughter-in-law can be controlled. When Tanya heard what she said, a strange color flashed across her eyes. Madam, maybe I have an idea. Asterisk. When Xiao Mian saw Zhang Luli had just put the baby to sleep. Didn't I tell you many times that you can just come over? There is no need to buy gifts for you every time. Why did you buy so many again? You only bought a few clothes last time, but you didn't. I haven't put it on yet, So you're buying it now? Zhang Luli took the bag from Jiao Mian and looked at the pile of clothes and toys inside, with a helpless expression on his face. It's not much. I just walked into a store and saw that the clothes in it were good looking, so I picked 2 pieces. I know Yu is not lacking. I heard that the clothes and toys my eldest brother bought for her are enough to open several maternal and child stores. But this is my intention as a godmother. Jiao Mian sat down next to Zhang Luli and looked around. Isn't eldest brother at home? End of this chapter. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. I secretly got married to a super boss. Author, Dance Lightly. Chapter 2729. Chapter 2729. The purpose is definitely not pure. Well, he has something to do. He just went out not long ago. Jiao Mian thought about her meeting MRSMO at the maternal and infant store and hesitated whether to tell Zhang Luli. From what MRSMO said, she wanted to come here to see the baby. Only. Zhang Luli and MRSMO are currently in a stalemate. When the time comes, there may be some quarrels and conflicts when he comes over. After thinking about it, she decided to speak out. Lulu, I met MRSMO when I was shopping at the maternal and child store. She said she would come over to see you in the next 2 days. She wants to come over to see you. Zhang Luli had a smile on her face and was peeling an orange for Jiao Mian. The next second, the smile on her lips disappeared completely. Well, I heard her and others say so. Others? Zhang Luli turned his head. Who are you talking about? It's a woman named Tanya. Jiao Mian and Zhang Luli had no secrets. She told Zhang Luli everything about Tanya teaming up with the Shen family to secretly deal with the Mo family. After a while, Zhang Luli said in surprise, so, is this Tanya's target, the Mo family? What kind of enmity does she have with the Mo family? Her identity is so difficult to find out. Even the power of the Mo family can't find out who she is. Well, it seems that her target is indeed the Mo family. As for the enmity between her and the Mo family, we don't know until we find out her identity. But she is definitely not simple. Anyway, it's my first time when I see her, I feel uncomfortable all over. Zhang Luli looked a little solemn and said, from what you said, this person is indeed not simple. Even the power of the Mo family can't find out her words, so her background is probably very powerful. A person with a strong background and an unknown identity wants to dealing with the Mo family sounds quite dangerous to me. She must have an impure purpose in getting close to MRSMO. Yet Jiao Mian nodded, I just don't know what she wants to do. The Shen family has been acquired by the Mo family, and she will definitely look for a new partner. Such a dangerous person has now become MRSMO's best friend. My friend, I always feel that she might be trying to do something through MRSMO. I think so too, Zhang Luli agreed, she must want to use MRSMO to do something. No, we can't continue to let MRSMO have contact with her, otherwise, I'm really worried about the rest of us. Safety. Baby, we have to let MRSMO know that this Tanya is not a good person. Asterisk. Jiao Mian stayed with Zhang Luli all afternoon. Mo Yesi came to pick her up after get off work, and the two of them stayed for dinner before leaving. In the car, Jiao Mian looked at the dark night outside the car window, feeling an inexplicable sense of uneasiness in her heart. This uneasiness only started after meeting Tanya and MRSMO. Mo Yesi, when I went to the mother and baby store to buy a gift for you today, I met Mom. Jiao Mian endured the inexplicable uneasiness in her heart and looked away from the car window. Have you met Mom? Why is she going to a place like a maternal and child store? Mo Yesi's tone was very calm, and no emotion could be heard. Well, it seems that she also went to buy a gift for you. Buy a gift for you? is Zhang Luli willing to let her see Yueyu? No, even though Luoluo doesn't let her see Yueyu, she is still Yueyu's grandmother. Maybe she still wants to see her granddaughter. End of this chapter. I secretly got married to a super boss. Author, Dance Lightly. Chapter 2730. Chapter 2730. Chapter 2730 already has some clues. Then what did you say? Did she go shopping alone? I just said hello and said a few words casually. She didn't go shopping alone. I saw that Tanya was with her. Chiao Mian paused, and then continued, Mo Yesi, shouldn't I tell mom what Tanya did? She is still interacting with Tanya. Wouldn't it be very dangerous if Tanya has any bad intentions? Tanya, upon hearing the name, Mo Yesi narrowed his eyes, and a hint of coldness gathered in his eyes. Well, didn't you say that Tanya was secretly dealing with the Mo family? If she had a grudge against the Mo family and she deliberately approached mom, I really don't know what terrible things she would do. Mo Yesi was silent for a while. I told my mother about Tanya, but she didn't believe it. She trusts Tanya very much now, and no matter what we say, she will feel that we are slandering Tanya. She knows about Tanya, but she still wants to continue to interact with Tanya. Chiao Mian felt incredible. Doesn't she even believe what you say? She feels that my eldest brother and I both have wives and forget about our mother, and have a lot of complaints against us. Plus grandma and dad, she will feel that the whole family is targeting her and making her angry. At this time, that's when it's easiest for her to trust others. Tanya is now the person she trusts most. Even if my eldest brother and I tell her about Tanya's secret dealings with the Mo family, she will only think that we are framed against Tanya. Chiao Mian. You don't even trust your own son, but you trust an outsider so much. She really couldn't understand Mrs. Mo's brain circuit. However, this also proves from another aspect that this Tanya is indeed very powerful and a very dangerous person. Such people have to deal with Mr. Mo. Even though Chiao Mian knew that the Mo family was very powerful and that Mo Shixiu and Mo Yesi were not people that others could easily deal with, she still became worried. Mo Yesi, is this Tanya so powerful? Is it really impossible to find out her true identity? It's not like it can't be found. The red light came on and Mo Yesi stopped the car. He turned his head and saw the uneasiness and worry on Chiao Mian's face, and gently held her hand. Don't worry, no matter who she is, no matter who she is, no matter what your purpose is, it will never succeed. There are already some clues about her true identity. After a while, we will be able to find out thoroughly. Chiao Mian was stunned for a moment, then raised her head. What clues did you find? Now we have found out where her power lies. As long as we investigate further, we will know who she is. Is it true? Chiao Mian felt a little relieved. In a short time, her true identity will be found out. End of this chapter.